JBN, we keep you informed. Bud charged with murder in elderly man's death. The Clarendon police arrested and charged a man following a shooting death in the parish on Friday, May 29. He is 36-year-old Roy Golding, otherwise called Bud, of Palm Crescent, Mapen in the parish. Golding was charged on Tuesday, June 2, with murder, shooting with intent, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. It is alleged that about 6:45 p.m. on Friday, May 29, Golding and 3 other armed men went to a home in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon, and opened gunfire at the occupants. 61-year-old Vernon Laidlaw of Bryant's Crescent, Mapen in the parish, was shot dead. Golding's court date is being finalized. Headless body of 74-year-old man found. Residents in Reach, a section of Mansion Hill, Portland, are on edge following the gruesome discovery of a farmer whose headless body was found at the side of the main road on Monday. According to 2 residents, the body of 74-year-old farmer Fitzroy Buckley was discovered by passers-by shortly after 6:30 a.m. Boy, this kind of killing is serious bad. I when I used to seeing people head cut off up here, so. When could I do so? Said a man who gave his name only as Tim. Another resident, Tony Watson, alleged that death threats were made against the deceased. Still, them never have to chop off him head. It would have been better if they did time up and beat him, but for chop off him head, it means that then the real one get rid of him, he said. Crime Chief for Portland, Detective Inspector Linton Bailey, said that a man is in custody and is to be questioned shortly. This is a quiet community, which has been rocked by this gruesome and barbaric killing, said Bailey. I am urging residents to cooperate with the police and to share whatever information they have, which could very well assist us in our investigation. Our investigation is continuing and we are following some strong leads. Buckley was last seen alive on Sunday after he had reportedly made a purchase at a nearby shop. Fiery protest in Cockburn Gardens after fatal police shooting. There was a fiery protest in Cockburn Gardens, St Andrew, on Friday morning, as residents demonstrated against the fatal shooting of a community member during a reported police operation in the area. Reports are that there was a police operation in the York Avenue section of the community about 9:30 a.m. Friday when a man was shot dead. The deceased has so far only been identified as Andrew. Placard-bearing residents took to the streets following the incident, claiming the man was killed in cold blood, chanting, "We want justice." The community members blocked the road and set a vehicle in the area ablaze. Police were still in the area up to late in the afternoon trying to restore order. The incident caused a traffic pileup in the area. 50 suspected Klansmen gangsters to go on trial. About 50 individuals suspected to be members of the violent St. Catherine-based Klansmen gang are expected to go on trial in Spanish Town St. Catherine courts soon. Newly promoted minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, told the Senate yesterday that evidence for the detention of the alleged gangsters and the charges laid against them emerged from intelligence work done by the police. It is related to the Klansman gang, and I believe that more than 50 persons will go on trial, which would be the largest such gang trial certainly in the Caribbean. I want to say anywhere, but from the numbers I have, I will say in the Caribbean, Samuda said. It is something that shows the benefit of significant detective and intelligence work, and it is something that we hope will help us break the crime situation in St. Catherine, he added. The senator was closing the debate on the report of a joint select committee of Parliament which reviewed and reported on the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act 2014, better known as the anti-gang legislation. The report was approved in the House of Representatives on May 29. Responding to claims by opposition senators that the current state of emergency SOE, including in St. Catherine North, were not working, the minister questioned their rejection of the results that showed, apart from St. Catherine North, the home of the Klansman gang, which had a 36% increase, all other SOEs were reflecting declining murder figures. He said, according to police figures, up to the end of May, there were declines in murders in the SOE areas as follows. Westmoreland, down 29.5%, Hanover, down 37.5%, Clarendon, down 11%, St. Catherine South, Portmore, down 8%, and St. James, down by 20%. Southern St. Andrew, however, was down a meager 2.9%. He also noted that in terms of the top crimes committed in Jamaica, larceny was down by 39.3%, rape down by 29.4%, break-ins down by 18.2%, shooting down by 9.9%, and murder down by 0.5%. He was particularly upbeat that in addition to reducing crimes in St. James by 20%, the police had seized over 10 high-powered rifles over the past 10 days. We are breaking the back of crime in Western Jamaica, and we are seeing success, he insisted. The Senate eventually approved the recommendations from the Joint Select Committee, which are to be addressed through amendments to the Anti-Gang Act and other crime-fighting pieces of legislation. JCF to procure body-worn cameras. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is engaged in the procurement process to acquire body-worn cameras for its members as it tries to ensure transparency and professionalism in interactions involving its members and the public. A body-worn camera is a wearable audio, video, or photographic recording system used to document images of activities. Providing an update at a digital press briefing yesterday, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson said the procurement process began in May last year. However, there was a delay in receiving response from potential providers during the bidding process. For the past month, we have been testing various models based on what was put forward in the tender documents and in the bids, and that has allowed us to evaluate things like how rugged they are, whether the clips will break or not, and are they suitable for our circumstances. Also, how we capture the data from these body-worn cameras is significant, the commissioner said. He noted that an electronic server to support the capturing of the data is currently in the island, but the equipment has not been commissioned into service, as the individuals who will undertake the process are unable to do so in light of the country's border closure. It is a long process, but as you can imagine, unlike other organizations, the JCF is very large. We have 12,000 members out there, 14,000 plus, including district constables, of which a significant portion of these members have to be equipped with body cameras, he said. It's a massive procurement, and we cannot afford to get it wrong. We have to do this in a very structured way, the commissioner added. In the meantime, he said other technology-driven projects have been assisting members of the force to enhance their duties. We have our smart check system, which is just about to go. Some people would have seen our new fleet where our officers have access to computers in their vehicles and can bring up data that can assist them with law enforcement, whether it's about a warrant, vehicle data, or any other matter that a police officer should know to be able to do the job better, he pointed out. The commissioner added that the Jamaica Eye Network for closed-circuit televisions, CCTVs, and the use of CCTVs generally have assisted the police in responding more speedily to crimes. We have leveraged the current structure of Jamaica Eye to make a quicker response and to make better outcomes in some of our investigations, he said. St Ann Municipal Corporation defends $47 million contract with cleaning company. The St Ann Municipal Corporation has defended its $46.8 million sanitisation contract with a National Contracts Commission NCC-approved company for the resort town of Ocho Rios and other areas to mitigate the spread of the novel coronavirus disease COVID-19. The Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, told the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, on Wednesday that a request from the Municipal Corporation for $77.2 million came early in the COVID-19 crisis to carry out maintenance and rehabilitation works in the tourism areas of Ocho Rios, St. Anne's Bay, Brownstown, and Discovery Bay. The TF board, however, approved $46.8 million for Ocho Rios only, for sanitization and deep cleaning at Island Village, the Ocho Rios Pier, Main Street, Turtle River Park, the Ocho Rios Market, White River, and Fisherman's Beach, Permanent Secretary Jennifer Griffith told the committee on Wednesday. The bone of contention at the sitting was the Municipal Corporation's emergency procurement of a sole contractor. The committee decided that the arrangement between the Municipal Corporation and Raheem's Cleaning and Trucking Limited could be subjected to approval by the Integrity Commission or another appropriate agency to resolve a number of questions that surfaced at the meeting. These figures really seem inflated. This is beyond my scope. As far as I am concerned, this needs to be looked at by some agency that is more equipped to understand these figures. I think this is an area for the Contractor General to come in and take a look, PAAC Chairman Dr. Wickham McNeil said, as members expressed dissatisfaction with the explanation for the selection process as well as the level of expenditure. He said the rationale for the selection raised more questions than answers, pointing to the agreement with Raheem's Cleaning and Trucking Limited dated March 26 this year, 2 months before the corporation received a letter of recommendation for the company from the Regional Operations Manager of Northeastern Parks and Markets Waste Management. Even the letter itself is at best confusing. At no stage in this letter do they speak of sanitization or any other issue of that nature. At best, this is very untidy, and I am not certain how you arrived at this position, he stated. However, Deputy Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Engineering Officer for the corporation, Xavier Monroe, insisted that the procurement process followed government guidelines. We didn't have a lot of time. We went directly to the NCC and we checked on the sanitation. This is a contractor that has NCC in sanitization, regardless of if they are doing work for another company in another category. This contractor has the NCC qualification in sanitization, he stressed. Members also suggested that the line items for the works appeared to be inflated, with Manchester Northwestern Member of Parliament Michael Phillips saying, "This is like you just cut and paste what you had on your estimate onto this invoice. What I would have expected with that amount being spent, that at least to see if you could come in within or below your estimate. I can't speak of it as if we did the cleaning to try and save money. We did the cleaning to try to save lives," Monroe rejoined. He also explained that the works involved far more than outlined in the submission documents. Meanwhile, Project Director TEF Jean Rampart explained that subsequent to the board receiving the projects for the municipal corporation, other requests have come in that are now being investigated. He said such requests for funding have come from the municipal corporations of Kingston and St Andrew, St Catherine and St Elizabeth. The permanent secretary noted that the St Ann Municipal Corporation had come out of the blocks early with its requests for the projects, but that the TEF board is now restructuring its budget to address more comprehensive sanitization projects for the remainder of the fiscal year. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.